my birthday celebration. There's going to be a fight card coming on UFC 269.
Happy birthday to you.
It's not my birthday yet, and I'm not going to say
I
when my birthday
no,
is, but you
no,
know.
yeah. I'm just saying it ahead of time.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. But
Yeah.
UFC 269 is coming on next weekend, and it's going to be a good card. There's some good fights on there, and we are here to talk about them as, the living embodiment of knowledge. And I need a good nickname for myself solely, but it will get there.
Yeah, man. We'll think about it, man. I'm pretty sure we're gonna get something that sticks.
Yeah, sure. I'm waiting. We'll see. But you want to start from the beginning of this card, or how are you feeling?
So UFC 269, I know it's not heavily promoted like the Usman and Covington card, which
Right.
we were both really excited for that card. But this card is fantastic when you look at it on paper. It's actually really good.
Yes.
Even the prelim fights are great. I mean, the early prelim, it's not that they're bad fights, but the early prelim definitely screams fight night, like ESPN Plus fight night cards. But like the later prelims, it's good. You got Dan Ige versus Josh Emmett, and then you got Dominic Cruz and Pedro Munoz. And I didn't even know Augustus Sakai and Tai Tuivasa were fighting. So even the prelims is good before the main card. I would like to do quick predictions on the prelims real quick before we do main card. So Augustus Sakai versus Tai Tuivasa, man, oh man, this is kind of a pick'em fight to me. I'm not going to break it down because these are supposed to be quick predictions.
Right.
I think I'm going to go with Tai Tuivasa on this one.
Agreed.
Okay. Dominic Cruz versus Pedro Munoz. This is another pick'em fight. But I think I'm going to go with Dominic Cruz on this one, but it's going to be like a split decision.
It's Dominic Cruz is my guy. I'm going for Pedro.
Okay. 50K Ige versus Josh Emmett. I got Dan Ige. I don't think he'll finish him, but I got Dan.
Josh Emmett has the power to knock him out early. He has the power to knock him out at any point in the fight, honestly. Dan Ige has the skill to beat him. Dan Ige. Yeah.
All right, now main card time. Now what we really want to talk about, right? Sean O'Malley versus, I'm not familiar with this guy. I know he's a top 15 guy, which, once again, weird UFC rankings. Forgive me if I mispronounce his first name and his last name, but I think it's Julian Paiva or Paiva. It could be either of those. Once again, forgive me for mispronouncing, but this once again seems like another fight that's tailor-made for Sean O'Malley.
There you go.
But I'm picking Sean O'Malley to win. But apparently this Paiva guy, he's not a slouch. He's apparently a tough guy, kind of like a Cheeto Vera thing. Like, hey, he's not known, but Cheeto's actually kind of tough. And then, he came out and then, he ended up winning his fight against Sean, even though it was in controversial fashion. I expect Sean to win this fight. I just think that it could be a tough out if I had to listen to like your John Anik of the world and Kenny Florians. This guy's supposed to be a tough out. So I'm going to listen to them, but I'm choosing Sean though to win.
I've seen this guy fight before, Rulian. He's not a bad fighter. He has some hands. I think Sean O'Malley has more hands. I think he'll win this fight. Sean O'Malley is a skilled fighter. He gets a lot of shit though because he's fighting people who aren't necessarily ranked. I mean, with the knockouts and the fights that he's had, he has to start fighting people, especially when you're Sean O'Malley talking about wanting a title shot next. You have to fight people who aren't Rulian Paiva. I'm not sure exactly how to say his last name, if I'm being honest.
Well, here's what I say about Sean, which I'm not mad at. He's taking like the boxing approach. Hey, more bang for my buck type of shit. You're going to pay me $50,000 to show up and $50,000 to win, beating up a prelim fighter or beating up a main card fighter. It don't matter. I'm getting paid the same. Plus I'm going to probably get pay-per-view points because people know who I am and they're tuning in to see me. I'm not mad at his approach when it comes to prize fighting. I think his approach when it comes to prize fighting is actually fantastic, especially since he's in a sport where they're not really paying their fighter as well as they could. As far as a credibility standpoint, he has a long way to go up the ladder if he keeps fighting these fucking no names or these cans and jobbers.
Me personally, I agree with you. Hey, go out and get your money. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing wrong with that. As a fan, I hate the shit, and I'm not necessarily kind of satisfied. I'll say that. I'm not gonna say I'm not rooting for him because I have nothing against Sean O'Malley. You know what I mean? But it's not really my thing.
Fair enough.
Now, the next fight on the card is Cody Garbrandt versus Kai Kara France.
I got Cody in this one, man. I think Cody's an all-around better round fighter. Kai Kara France, he's kind of he's good enough to be in a top 10 of a division, but he's definitely bottom. I think he's like 2-2 in his last four. He's I could be wrong. You have to check the record, but I think he's 2-2 in his last four.
Yes.
And see, boom, look at that, bro. Live embodiment of knowledge.
Live embodiment of knowledge. Look at that.
Yeah, so I think that Cody's the better all-around fighter. He's the better boxer. He's definitely the better wrestler between the two. And I honestly think he has a better guessing than Kai Kara France. He has the better fight IQ because I've seen Kai Kara France make mistakes like in the Brandon Royval fight. So I'm going with Cody. The only reason why Cody would lose this fight if this flyweight cut is killing him.
That's the only thing that has me a little like curious about this fight because Cody has shown himself to be a little chinny. But I think he's so fast and I think his boxing is good enough to where he should be able to really put it on Kai Kara France. I don't think Kai Kara France is a bad fighter, I'm not gonna lie, but Cody Garbrandt is a skilled dude and he's quick, yo. He has quick hands.
Yeah, the only thing about Cody that I don't like, and it's not really necessarily his skill set, besides him, him abandoning the game plan to fighting really recklessly.
Right.
But I hate how he'll like win a fight or maybe win another fight, and he's like, "Oh, well, I deserve the title shot next." I hate that. Like, I hate every fighter who does it, who's just coming off of losses. Even me being a Conor McGregor fan, I viciously disagree with him getting a title shot. Like, I do. He does not deserve it. And same thing with Cody Garbrandt. He has not earned a title shot right away from beating Kai Kara if he beats Kai Kara France.
I don't know, man. Like, I think at flyweight he could probably get a title shot if he beats Kai Kara France definitively.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, Dana White, he'll probably, if he sees money to be made, yeah, he'll probably do it. But you still got guys like Manel Kape who just got a knockout the fight. Yeah, last night. So, I think there's a couple other guys. Alexander Pantoja, he's on a streak, and he should. And the guy that Brandon Moreno fought, the undefeated Russian dude. You know what I mean? So there's some guys that flyweight. I don't think Cody should jump the line. If you give him the shortest path because of his name and he can help sell tickets, then it is what it is. But I don't think he should get the next shot, right? Just off of one win.
What I'll say is that I think if he wins, Brandon Moreno will fight Cody Garbrandt next. He's the biggest name. Excuse me.
Fair enough. Bless you. But yeah, they'll probably do. You're right. It's at the end of the day, it's prize fighting. So
right, exactly. I mean, and if we can't be mad at Sean, then we can't be mad at Brandon if he does the same thing. So
yeah,
what are you gonna do about it? You know what I mean?
Right.
The next fight is Jeff Neal versus Santiago Ponzinibio, a fighter that I'm actually not the biggest fan of. I had a little bit of a hype train before he got beat.
Ponzinibio?
Yes.
Okay, so shouts out to Ponzinibio. He had a long layoff before he got beat by Li Jingliang.
Yes.
So but after that fight, he came back and won another fight. So, and nobody was actually fighting Ponzinibio for a while too. He was trying to call us people. Nobody wanted to fight him.
Yeah.
So I think Ponzinibio is going to beat Jeff Neal. I don't see. I'm not. And also, Jeff Neal just got into some trouble recently too.
He did. Yeah, he got a DUI.
Yeah, so I don't know how this fight is going to go down, and I don't know if Jeff Neal's in the right mental space, and I don't even know if that his arrest is hindering his training as well. So I'm going to go with Ponzinibio with this one, man. I don't think he'll knock out Jeff, but I think he'll pummel him though.
I could see the winner of this fight getting a knockout. I think that I'm going to go with Jeff Neal because he's just been a little bit more active. Ponzinibbio in his last fight, while he's a very skilled fighter and he probably could beat Jeff Neal, I think Jeff Neal, if I'm not mistaken, he's coming off a loss, and I think
Yeah.
he'll be looking to prove something.
Okay. Even though he just got arrested too.
Well, I mean, I guess there's also that. So maybe he might have some stuff going on. Maybe it'll make him angry. You know what I mean?
Maybe so. I guess I don't
Well, let's
know.
wait till I win.
I don't know. I just don't like the arrest thing. The arrest thing is what's kind of making me sway to Ponzinibbio.
It's fair enough. I'm not mad at that.
Not, and it has nothing to do with like him as a person. It's more or less of like,
Where's his mind at?
right, exactly. Is that going to fuck up his training? Like how long was he fucking arrested for? All that shit.
Right. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. But I mean, shout out to both of them.
Yeah.
Now, move on to the co-main event. We have the female GOAT herself, Amanda Nunez, versus Juliana Pena. What are your thoughts?
Amanda Nunez, first round knockout or TKO. Juliana Pena, she's a solid female fighter. She could beat some top 10 opponents, but she's not the best female fighter in that bantamweight division. She already lost to a few opponents that Amanda Nunez has already beaten. So I know they're trying to sell this thing of like, oh, well, she never beat me. She never fought me. I could give her the problems to give her ish, da, da, da. And, and kudos to Juliana Pena for trying to sell the fight and try to get people to care, even though I just don't see her lasting past the first round. If she lasts past the first round, then, she'll just get finished in the second. I just don't. Unless Amanda Nunez is coming in here to play with her opponent like she did with Felicia Spencer, who just retired, by the way.
Yep. Shout out to Felicia.
I think that I just don't. This is not competitive, man. To me, this comes off as like Amanda Nunez is like, hey, look, my young child needs some new Gucci, so yeah, I'm gonna take this fight and get this paycheck.
Amanda Nunez is like, my young child is growing up, and the more she, gets aware of the world, she wants more things. So I have to beat more women.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Me personally, I see this fight slightly differently. I think Juliana Pena is skilled enough to make it to the second or third round, but I think Amanda Nunez is Amanda Nunez. And I think that she is going to come to win this fight. I don't think that Juliana Pena can necessarily beat her anywhere. I think that she's solid enough though to not just go in there and get finished. I personally think she's a better fighter than some of the women that Amanda Nunez has fought, but I don't think that she's on a level to really like make it to the fifth round with her and get her in a dog fight. And if it is that way, shouts out to her because Amanda Nunez needs that. I just don't see this fight going that way.
Yeah, I agree.
So we got the main event coming up next. The lightweight title, the fight that we've all wanted for a long time. Dustin Poirier comes off of the win of Conor McGregor where he broke his leg. And we now have him fighting Charles Oliveira, the lightweight pride of Brazil.
Shouts out to both of these fighters. I'm choosing Dustin Poirier to win this fight. I'm actually going to choose him by decision. I just don't think this fight is going to be an easy fight Actually, I'll take that back. I got Dustin Poirier probably by like fourth round TKO. I don't think this is an easy fight for neither fighter. Charles Oliveira is a very, very, very tough out. Hence why he's the lightweight champion of the world.
Yes.
And I remember saying, even though I chose Michael Chandler against him, and maybe I should learn from that lesson, but something telling me is just to go with Dustin. Oliveira He knocked out Mike. He weathered the storm. It wasn't looking good, but he came back. And that shows he has heart, and he's learned from the past, and he's knocked out and he put Mike away. I think Oliveira is going to give Dustin a lot of trouble on the feet. I just don't know if it will be enough to the point where he can put Dustin away or make Dustin become a panic wrestler. And I don't know if Charles Oliveira can take Dustin down and do what he wants. Dustin is not such a slouch when it comes to grappling. He's not a slouch when it comes to takedown defense. Remember, he did get Khabib in that guillotine, and yes, everybody knows the result of the fight. Khabib won that fight, but he got him in there. You know what I mean? And Khabib is Khabib. So I look at Charles Oliveira, and I'm kind of like, I know MMA math doesn't work, but I just feel like if he could get that guillotine on Khabib, I think he can hold his own in the grappling with Charles Oliveira. I'm giving a casual take on this because I don't want. If we really break this down, this could really take up a lot of time. But long story short, I'm going with Dustin, 4th round TKO, the new lightweight champion of the world. He calls it not calls a career, but his legacy is officially complete. He rematches Justin Gaethje, knocks out Justin Gaethje for a second time, and then he could go retire in the sunset, unless Dana throws him $10 million to fight Conor for a 4th time.
I see him no matter what trying to fight Conor a 4th time. I don't think Dustin Poirier wants to miss out on that money.
No, I think he really enjoys that money. I think he does. I think if they're like, hey, Dustin, you got to fight Conor, defend the belt. If he wins, of course, defend the belt. He'll be like, yeah, okay, cool. Yeah. I have no problem knocking that motherfucker out again.
Honestly, think if he were to win, he'd drop the belt to fight Conor. And I remember saying that after he beat Conor last time. So, I mean, he's already talking about going up to 170. And Conor, you've seen the recent pictures of Conor where he barely looks like himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so I don't want to discredit Charles Oliveira because Charles Oliveira does a lot of great things, but he could very well win this fight. Like, this fight is not an easy fight to really predict.
Right.
Unfortunately, just like the Rob Font thing, I'm going out here on the limb and I'm choosing Dustin. But if Charles Oliveira wins, I will not be surprised because the motherfucker, he's a fantastic fighter. He's really evolved from when he first came in, beating up on Efrain. What's his name? Efrain
Escudero.
Yeah, that motherfucker. Yeah.
Yeah, man, I remember him. I see this fight going a little differently, personally. I think Dustin Poirier has the skills to pretty much stifle everything that Charles Oliveira is going to throw his way. I see him getting it by 3rd round TKO, only because I think that his stand-up is better than Michael Chandler. I think he's better than Charles Oliveira, and I think that he has more of a chance of catching Charles Oliveira with something swift and trying to put him away. I don't think he's going to catch him on the ground with a submission, but I think that if it does go to the ground, it's probably going to be Charles Oliveira catching Dustin, bringing him to the ground, and then trying to submit him. Charles Oliveira has never been known as a good wrestler. Dustin Poirier has never been known as a good wrestler, but Dustin Poirier has the skills enough to stay off the ground and put himself in a bad spot against Charles Oliveira. So that being said, though, I got Dustin Poirier getting it. I'm not sure who we defend the belt against next, or if he defend the belt at all, because Conor McGregor is trying to be back by May. So, I mean, we'll see.
Man, I think Conor McGregor, if he goes down to 155, which I don't think he should, but if he goes down to 155, he should take that Michael Chandler fight.
Absolutely.
And I think that's obviously a pay-per-view main event. I'll probably end up doing 1 million pay-per-view buys because they're probably both of them. Michael Chandler seemed like he could help sell a fight. So I could see the fight is going to be ended in a knockout because both of them love to go for the knockout and strike. Conor should go for that. And if he wins that fight, because that's a fight that he can win, if he wins that fight, okay, then more than likely you'll probably give him a title shot. But if he loses that fight, which he can lose as well, yeah, he could lose that fight. I think Conor should either retire or really put all his eggs in a basket for a 170 run, which won't be an easy run either, because once he gets to the upper echelon, he's not going to beat Usman. Forget about it. Usman's going to kill him and destroy him. He won't beat Kobe. Kobe's going to kill him and destroy him.
Yes.
He has a chance against Leon. He definitely won't fight. Man, Hamzat will put him on his fucking head. So, like, I at the
That's
upper
a nightmare matchup.
Yeah, honestly, man, it might be time for the point where Conor is going to take legacy pay-per-view fights. Hey, him versus Nick Diaz, shit like that. Because against the elite, he's not looking too hot. I don't even think Conor could beat Rafael. What's his last name?
Fiziev? Damn, you think it's that far?
I don't. Yeah, I think Conor fell off that hard, man.
I think Michael Chandler gets him, but I'm not sure about that though.
I don't think Conor. I just lightweight Conor, man, it's not great. And what fucked him up was the fucking Floyd fight, man. The Floyd fight, and then he took off what, 2 years? About 2 years? No, Floyd fight. He took off a year with Habib.
Mm-hmm.
After losing to Habib, he took another like a year off before he came back to fight Donald Cerrone. He should have never fought Donald. He should have fought Justin Gaethje. Because the Conor that won the lightweight title, I was like, that Conor could have KO'd RDA. That Conor could have fucking KO'd Justin Gaethje. That Conor could have KO'd and Michael Chandler. I don't know. I don't think he beats Habib, but that Conor could have KO'd a Tony Ferguson. That Conor, I think that Conor was really good. But he went off, he did the Diaz fights. He did, then went off to get Floyd, the biggest payday for an MMA fighter in history.
Mm-hmm.
No MMA fighter will ever reach that kind of paycheck for years.
Yep.
He stopped fighting for years, and then he decides to come back, and instead of taking on a legitimate lightweight, he fights Donald Cerrone in a welterweight fight. He smokes Donald, but Donald, I mean, I just look at it like, this guy, man, he's really fell off fucking hard. I don't have really confidence in Conor, man. He has to cherry pick his way. I put it like this. The only way this motherfucker could get back to his graces, he got to leave that fucking camp.
I agree with that. Like, I feel like at this point in time, I feel like people get to the point where it's like they get comfortable and they get to a point, and the people around them get to the point where they don't want to question them too much. And I mean, you've heard his coach said, "Oh, I won't allow Conor to fight," or, I've been advising him, like, I'll kick him out, blah, blah, blah. Let's be real. Kavanaugh?
Yeah.
He's not kicking.
He's got to go.
He's not kicking him the fuck out.
No, he won't either. Yeah.
No. You think he's going to kick out his highest paid fighter and will always be his highest paid fighter? Fuck no.
Kavanaugh probably got, he's probably a millionaire off of Conor McGregor.
For a fact.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, for a fact.
Why do you think all those guys ride him so hard? Look at even Artem Lobov. I think Artem Lobov is hilarious, not because he's a funny guy, but because of the whole stigma of him. And he's rich from being beside Conor. And as you know, Artem Lobov is not a good fighter. So he's not. But what I will say is his legacy was intact when he beat Paulie Malignaggi.
You know what? That really was like significant for him, though. You know what I mean? It really was like a staple of his career. The GOAT, and then he comes in and beat this well-known boxer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shit's crazy. Who would have thought? I was surprised. I thought the shit was hilarious. And for Paulie, that's damning for his career.
Yeah. His career is done after that. Like, any chance for a comeback, it was shot to shit. But I fucking, when that happened, I was like, you know what? Those training videos might be factual, might actually be the truth.
Conor said he knocked him down a couple times.
Yeah.
Who knows, man? Like, you know what I mean? Like, maybe he did get mad.
Yeah, I'm telling you, maybe he did get maybe Conor did get the better of him. I mean, like, because he didn't look that great in that Paulie fight. I mean, in the Arda fight at all.
I thought he lost it.
Yeah.
I scored shit for him. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I didn't think it was debatable or anything. Like,
nah. So I don't know. But there's another boxer talking about mixing it up with an MMA fighter.